Sup guys, it's Goldsy here and welcome to another StarCraft 2 commentary. Hopefully you watched the last one. If you did, you'll realise I am sitting here with Zergtastic.
Oh yeah, he's sitting right beside me, obviously.
Oh well, not really. This is going to be our third time trying to cast this, as we've had some amazing syncing issues. Which
yeah, epic fails have happened already. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to see any of those because it's a bit too embarrassing from what happened. I mean, we didn't have... Goldsy had his replay playing at normal speed to begin with, and then he said that this was live, which of course it isn't, and then I didn't play my replay at the same time, so of course we're going to get it right this time.
Yeah.
And so far, you can... well, I should probably introduce the players first before I talk about the strategy. In the bottom position, we have FXO Filthy as the red Terran, and in the top right position, we have FXO tgun. This is on Metalopolis, and this was a practice game from one of the NRG events. And over at the Terran base of Filthy, we see that one depot is being positioned at the bottom ramp, and next to it is being constructed a barracks. So he is probably going to wall off at the bottom to try and make sure that no scouting gets up to the top of his base. We'll see how successful he is with that.
Yes, we do see a drone trying to attack that bunker. Imagine if, not bunker, the barracks. Imagine if he actually took out a barracks with that drone. He'd be like, whoa, and there goes the drone right up the ramp. So, and...
That's a bit odd how he lowered the spy depot and let the drone in, then he pulls it back up. Maybe he did that to try and kill the drone or something. I've seen some Terran players just wall in the drone within their own base just to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does secure a free kill, you can kind of say. And it does look like he did it on purpose, because he did lower it, then rise it back up again. But very interesting. We're also seeing a fast expand for FXO T-Gun, getting that expansion down first before his pull. Nothing out of the ordinary, but it's kind of a little bit risky due to just the spawning distance, I suppose. It's closer than what normally is. It's not really cross-map. But hey, it's a Terran, and I suppose Sir can get away with that.
Something that's really odd, which has happened already, about that drone that we just talked about, he just let the drone out again. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, or if it was a mistake in the first place to let it into the base, but it seems a bit odd. As we do have the fast expand coming down from T-Gun, but we see a Reaper being constructed in the barracks after he had a tech lab, so it looks like he's going for a Reaper rush, and we'll see if he does any damage with this. I assume that he's going to be making bunkers to try and do damage with those as well.
Yeah, it's something that definitely I would like to see more, which is Reapers. I think after the patch where they pretty much got nerfed, we hardly seeing them anymore, but they're still an effective unit. They're good for scouting, and the Reaper rushes are still good. You can see a bunker being produced. We have 3 drones trying to stop the construction of the bunker. It looks like they're going to be successful. The bunker does get cancelled. And we do see that... It was
kind of odd there, because we saw the drones move away, trying to bait those SCVs in, I think, and then the drones moved back to try and take down the bunker, and then... but now we have 2 spine crawlers going down to try and counteract this bunker. One does get killed, I believe, and the other one gets cancelled and remade at the back. And this Reaper's just chipping away at the hat tree. Some Zerglings finally come in, and they might be able to take this down. Well, look at what happens here. They are dealing a lot of damage to this bunker. The Reaper actually has nowhere to go, but the bunker does finish, but there's no hit points left on it anyway, so it doesn't count towards anything.
Alright, it looks like we have a second Reaper that's going to spot these Lings coming in on the high ground. And he's obviously pushing back towards the goal position. Interesting to see, we do have Ling speed starting right now. It's not really late, but it's something that sort of needs to happen, especially if there's going to be continued Reapers, that's for sure.
Wow, it looks like Filthy is choosing to expand already, especially after failing his Reaper rush. I guess he's just confident in the fact that he might be able to just control the movement of these things, or just kill them all off with that one Reaper. Yeah,
that one Reaper is now, what, 9 kills. Just being able to sort of lure those Lings into some sort of concave and just shoot them off. Wonderful kiting. We do see that factory finally going down. Interesting to see, will he transition into the Reaper upgrade and continue with this Reaper harassment, or maybe just go tanks or something just to be safe?
Well, yeah, I actually haven't seen that Reaper upgrade utilised as much, of course, because the Reapers have been underutilised by a lot of Terran players, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens with that. I'll bring on my production tab and keep an eye on that.
Yep, and you can see now that these Reapers are just having a field day inside the base. They can basically one-shot these Lings. He needs speed desperately to try and keep up with these Reapers, and you can look at all the kills that they've had now. You got one that's on 1, and the other one's probably on about 16.
Whoa,
which is
that's
amazing.
So many kills.
That is a very cost-effective Reaper right there. And you can see, look, he's pulling off all these drones trying to counter it. One does go down. Look at this, he's just... Oh, and the Spine Crawler does take it out. So definitely,
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say that was a non-effective sort of Reaper rush because 16
That was very
kills.
effective. Just so many kills from those Reapers. Of course, that does mean that they're just overly cost effective in that case. And we do have Marauders being made and positioned into the bunker. So it looks like he's transitioning to... let's see, he's making a tech lab on his factory, so he might be going like Marauder tank, I believe, because it looks like he's only making Marauders out of one barracks. So he might be going kind of mech heavy from here on. Well, he's making another barracks now, but he did make his second factory. So I think he might be going for a Marauder tank push. That's my prediction.
Oh, we are seeing Blue Flame and a lot of Hellions being produced. So we are going to see Blue Flame Hellions. I think tanks would have been the better choice.
Wow.
Especially
No. This is actually quite a strong push because Marauders, they're really good against Roaches, obviously.
Yeah.
And Hellions, they're really good against Lings.
Yeah.
So what will the Zerg have? Either Roaches or Lings.
Well, he is getting a
yeah.
Baneling nest though. So how effective is Hellions against Banelings?
Well, Hellions are pretty good against Banelings. It does depend on the creep spread and if the Banelings have Baneling speed or not. But of course, Marauders are very good against Banelings. They can soak up a lot of that Baneling damage. But I believe if Banelings hit Hellions, they can be kind of good. But yet again, you'd only really want Banelings to hit Marines primarily.
Yep, so those 3 Hellions are going to try and get caught. One of them does get picked up by the Spine Crawler. And I think that was more of a scout with Blue Flame like not finished yet. I think it was just more having a poke, seeing what was happening, having a look around. I wouldn't call that a push. But Blue Flame Hellion, the Blue Flame upgrade is almost finished, and also the centrifugal hooks is almost halfway done. And you'd have to say something has to really happen with this push. It looks like he's going to push now, which is going to be perfect timing for Blue Flame to finish. And there is a lot of Lings and a lot of Baneling waiting for this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Tigon's going to be able to hold this off with this many Lings in preparation for this attack. I think just the fact that he is so heavily prepared, he might be able to hold this off.
Yeah, we can see those Marauders trying to focus fire that Spine Crawler, and all those Blue Flames trying to focus fire that Queen now running away. All these Banelings are going to come running now, and the perfect surround with these Lings, as those Hellions are just going to get away though. They're way too quick, but those Marauders are all going to die. Whoa! Those Banelings did a very good job at killing off all those Hellions.
Oh, well, it seems that Banelings are actually really effective against Hellions. Of course, the Hellions are really good against the Lings, though, and that Blue Flame actually has cut into a lot of those Lings there.
Yeah, it's interesting. We do have an armory on the way, so possibly upgrades. I wouldn't say a Thor would come out, but look at this, another surround. Wow, and now everything has eventually died off. We have another factory, so 3 factories. So it's going very mech heavy for Filthy. We can see more Hellions trying to make pushing up into the high ground. I think, especially in Metalopolis, with this spawning, I think this high ground up in the middle, you can't really see where I'm pointing, but I think you know what I'm talking about, is great to be able to control. It makes you see things, you've got more advantage over your ramp and that kind of stuff. So rallying your units there is definitely a good idea. Stimpak, very late Stimpak, finally coming. We've also got more Hellions, a lot of Lings being produced, and there's going to be a big massive Baneling Ling push at the moment. All these units are going to get caught off guard. Those Banelings doing massive damage, killing pretty much everything.
Wow, those Banelings did get really good connections there. Yeah, there's actually been some pretty good reactions from T-Gun, just keeping an eye on where that army's going. Although I think that might have just been a general push out by him to just... so he might not have done that reactively. I think he just did it, and just the army happened to be there.
Yep, and those last couple of Hellions are being pushed, so now there's a lot of Lings going towards the natural, and some Bling that are also just having a poke around, trying to kill off as many Hellions as possible by the look of it, but there are a lot of SCVs dying.
Yeah, it's a shame that Filthy didn't actually put up any bunkers. Well, he did have one earlier, but he kind of sacrificed that to do that initial push, which didn't do that much damage. So Filthy is getting pretty far behind now, so I think T-Gun should be able to just keep on pushing in, doing more and more damage at this point. Yep,
and you can see if I look at the income tab, it is 42 harvesters still, to only 27 harvesters for a Zerg player.
Oh wow, well that might be because T-Gun's trying to be so overly aggressive, but that's still pretty odd. We haven't missed anything, have we?
No, it's just
quite odd.
He did. There was those drones that died at the start. You can see there's a lot of lings being pushed into the natural expansion of the Terran base. That supply depot just going up quickly enough to spot them from going into the main. But it looks like all these SCVs trying to run away. There's a few marauders on the ramp trying to stop them from killing all the SCVs. But there's a lot of things dying. Mules dying. Supply depots dying. 1 Hellions. 2 Hellions dying as well. Wow, this natural is almost...
I usually want to say that... that Filthy's getting really, really far behind, but the fact is that he's actually ahead in Harvesters still.
Yep. It's very interesting for a Zerg player to be 14 minutes into a game and be so far behind in Harvesters, especially to a Terran. But he's obviously sacrificed a lot to make these Lings and Bailings to try and keep them pushing, and he is taking out a lot of supply depots and factories, so it does sort of seem cost effective at the moment as long as he can drone back up.
Well, yeah, he is taking out I wouldn't say all of production facilities. There's 2 racks in the main still, but he's taking out a significant amount of barracks and factories out the front, which weren't even created in a war. They were just kind of separated into a few different parts, which is kind of a bit strange in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And we can look like all these marauders are now what stands between the ramp, the main base, and all these Lings. You can see them just trying to form some sort of wall, trying to keep them all off from running in there. Looks like they're going to do a good job. All these SCVs being pulled off the line as well to try and stop them from coming into the main. And there's also, we've missed some sort of Ghost Academy as well, because there's a few Ghosts poking around trying to shoot Lings as well. So I've never seen Ghosts being utilized against a Zerg player much. You normally see him definitely for Protoss against, with that EMP, but...
especially against Zerglings, that's...
yeah.
Ghost versus Zerglings, that seems a bit odd, doesn't it?
It seems like a matchup that won't favour the Ghost that well, that's for sure. Unless...
Yeah, they'd have to have, like, machine gun sniper rifles to deal with that many Zerglings.
Yeah, and we are seeing a lot more Baneling and Ling pushes at the moment, trying to snipe those Banelings, which is actually doing a rather good job at sniping those Banelings, popping before they actually get somewhere, but all those rest of those Ghosts are going to die. And there's... Whoa! Did you see that? Massive...
Well, no, I haven't because my replay is so far behind, but oh wow, I think I did just see that.
Was it the massive Banelings going off at the natural line as well?
Yeah, that's
killing
insane.
So many units.
This is actually becoming such a cost-effective push, simply because he's taking out so many of the production facilities, and Filthy does have to just keep on making stuff to defend this. If he loses these production facilities and it's natural, then he's pretty much lost the game.
Well,
at the harvester count, even though he's lost so many harvesters now, and Tgun is ahead in that.
Yeah, and we can see Filthy just GG'd, and at the very end we had 15 harvesters to 27, so... Wow, to stay on 27 harvesters the entire game and be able to take out a pretty much 40-something Terran on 2 base, you have to give credit to T-Gun when credit is due.
T-Gun is a very good player. FXO has been very good in building him up as a player, and although that was a bit odd that he didn't have more harvesters, but yet again, if he's going to be that cost efficient in not having that many harvesters, then... sure, keep on doing it if it works that way.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Filthy was actually going for Cloak for his Ghosts as well. Maybe he was trying to get a nuke or something like that. But yeah, Ghosts against Ling, very interesting move. In
fact, yeah, that's... it didn't really seem that he was going for a very well thought out build after a while. I think T-Gun was a bit too well prepared for Filthy's pushes, and... On top of that, Filthy did get caught out of position a bit in the middle of the game when his army was on top of that high ground position there. So it was kind of odd how Filthy put his army out of position there and just left him there for that period of time. He should have just really pushed or not pushed. But still, that is a very scary composition to go up against as a Zerg. But it looks like T-Gun has figured it out. Used Banelings to take down the Hellions and Lings to clean up everything else.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting to see, 17 minutes into a game, or Blizzard minutes, that the Zerg player only has really, 2, a Baneling left and a spawning pool. That's so odd. Just, no upgrades, no nothing, no Roaches, no Hydras, no Muta, no Spire. And just to win off that is amazing.
Well, you can see where all the resources have gone. It's like they've all disappeared from this game because this is so far into this game, and it doesn't look like there's much out. But if you go to the Units Lost tab just to check that after the game, There's 12,000, almost 13,000 resources lost for Filthy and 8,275 resources lost for T-Gun. So of course that's where all of these extra units, which probably should have been in the game, went to. It's just they disappeared into the units lost tab.
It's interesting to see that even if that last push didn't kill Filthy and make him GG, there's still a lot of Bailing and Ling at that high ground that's going to run in anyway, so it's definitely GG. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this replay. Going to be more, subscribe, that kind of stuff if you like enjoying our sexy voices. Shoot over to justin.tv/Goldsy for when I stream with Zergtastic, hopefully tomorrow for the BSG at 9 o'clock Sydney time, or 10 o'clock. 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Time.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Singaporean.
Yeah.
So anyway, catch you guys later.